nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big Johnny G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Time for another two-gun review, my friends. And this time I'm talking about a game that I've been playing a lot. I've been playing a lot of this game. I've been playing a lot of the game that it's born from. It's part of the series of. And it's about time that I told you that I liked it. And more importantly, why I enjoy the game. And I'm talking about a title by Recoculous Games. And this is Crazier 8's Pantheon. So come on, join me down the table, and you'll get to hear why I like this game and what about it makes me want to keep having it hit the table. So I'll see you down the table. The first thing that you always notice about a new game is what it looks like and how it's packaged. So that's where I like to start the game off. Now, I think I mentioned this during the unboxing. This seems very familiar to me, and I think that's when it would have been. On camera, the art and the color, actually, doesn't look bad. It seems to pick up a little bit better on camera than in real life. It looks a little dark. So I just want to start off with that. A little dark, not too much. I understand that each of the Crazier 8s has their own kind of color scheme. I've noticed that, but this I did find a little bit dark. But otherwise, the packaging is exactly what it is. It's a tuck box. So it's a basic tuck box, standard sturdiness, and nothing special about it. It's nice the way they designed it. I like the back. Shows off a couple of the cards really nice, gives a good write-up about what's going on, and the art in itself is just classically beautiful. I love this art, and the Crazier 8's base art itself is very cool, so I'm digging that. I would say that overall, the packaging is okay to, I don't know, okay plus. It's a little bit better than average. It looks good, and it stands out for what it is. A tuck box. Now let's take a look at the components. And yes, as you can see, I'm not very good with tuck boxes. Actually, there's so many of the Crazier 8 games out now, I'd almost like to see them come out with some sort of like collection box. That's what I'd like to do. Looking at the components, I mean, it is cards. That's what it is. It has a little cheat card for the rules, which I always found very handy. It's great to have, but honestly, and I'll get to this when I talk about the rules next, after your first time or first couple of times using this, you're probably never going to look at this card again, unless you pull it out because you're teaching someone else the game. Really. But I'll get to that in a moment. Now let's talk about the components, the cards themselves. I like the cards. The cards are in good shape. They're not staticky. They're not, I don't know what to call it. That's the best way I could see, especially with new cards. Sometimes the way they will always stick together. And I really haven't had much of a problem with these cards, pulling them out one at a time. Now, I always talk about the art. I think the art is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. It harkens back to the most classic of style that you would see in a museum. Some of them, especially in the earlier games, are literal museum pieces. It's so beautiful. I just get taken away looking at these cards. They're absolutely gorgeous. Some of the best art I've ever seen in a game. So I really got to say that high marks, I think, for the components, for the cards. I love it. Now, the rules, and I got these all over the place. Actually, wasn't in here. There should be one in here, but I got them all over the place, so I had to go grab this. separately. So why don't we talk about the rules, and I'll explain the game to you as quickly as I can. After shuffling the deck, the top card is going to be revealed to start the discard pile. Then each player is going to get a hand of 7. The randomly determined first player will then begin the phase by drawing a card into their hand. And as always, all the players should keep all the cards in their hands a secret from all the other players. Next, for the main phase, you're going to be able to discard a card from your hand or play a card from your hand, and you may discard first if you wish. So this is as per usual for Crazy 8 style games. In discarding, you're gonna have to make a match. In this case, I can match these two cards because the Ankhs match up. Now, alternatively, I could decide to play a card. And there are two kinds of cards that can be played. An event card, such as this. A player of your choice draws a card. You may discard 2 additional cards this turn. So if I played this as a playing card, this card, not a discard, this goes underneath the bottom of the discard pile. At the bottom of the pile. And then, according to the card, I could discard twice on my turn. So then I could get rid of this because the Ankh matches up. And there's a sun, so I could get rid of this card as well. Other cards are assets. Asset cards will be played in front of you, kept in your play area. They will not be discarded to the bottom of the deck as other played cards, and they will not be discarded to the top of the deck as a discard is. They are kept in front of you because they have ongoing effects. Now, if your asset card is a deity of Greek mythology, such as Athena here, the top line will always tell you that they cannot be destroyed. No card can destroy this card. Now, also, most of them will have other abilities, such as this one says at the beginning of your turn, if 2 or more assets are controlled by opponents, you may destroy any one of those assets that's in play on the table. So if someone played this card against you, they couldn't destroy your other god. They couldn't destroy a Zeus. But anything that's not a deity, that does not have this line at the very top that says cannot be destroyed, would be able to be destroyed. And then the end phase. Just as there are some cards that say at the beginning of your turn, there are others that will direct you at the end of your turn. And then the first player that is able to successfully discard all the cards from their hand would then win the game. With rules that are familiar and actually pretty easy, this is a really good game to start people off with. And it's a fun enough game with strategy and technique that even seasoned gamers, I think, are going to enjoy this. It's a good twist on the Crazy 8's theme and concept. I think it's actually perfect for family game nights, just as a regular game of Crazy 8s is. And there's a lot of different types of Crazier 8s too, which is good. Pantheon is the sub-deck of Olympus. If you want to call it a sub-deck, it's a smaller deck, good for 1 to 2 players. But it also pairs perfectly. It is made to be part with the Olympus. And there's other games in the series too. If Greek myth isn't quite your thing, there's Arthurian, and there's also 1001 Arabian Nights, which are available, and they're just as fun. And there's a little bit of differences in each of the game systems. This particular game adds in the indestructibility of ace cards, or any card that is a Greek god can't be destroyed. And that's new to this particular deck. Overall, I enjoyed this game hitting the table. I look forward to it hitting the table, whether it's 2 players, 4 players, or 6 players. It never stops being fun. This game never does not deliver. We always enjoy ourselves playing this game, and I just wanted to let you know why. Because everything I've told you is what makes this game fun. From the beautiful artwork you're looking at, to the streamlined and familiar rules, and to the idea that you're manipulating a Crazy 8's game with these assets and events, which takes it far beyond the strategy of a Crazy 8's game. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, a little bit more more complicated without being complicated, more strategic, I guess, is really what I would like to call this game, then please go get yourself some more information, learn more about the Crazier 8 system, and particularly the Pantheon and Olympus game versions of it. So thank you for checking this out. I think you're going to enjoy checking out more about this.